Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Thank you all for coming to this candidate forum for Paullina City Council and the mayor. School board candidates were invited. As of right now, none have shown for a variety of reasons. I've had one say what his holdup was, and maybe he'll make it, we're hoping. In the meantime, I have to apologize to everybody. I wasn't looking at the calendar quite right. There is not another issue of the newspaper going out before Election Day. We're videotaping this. You can see it online at our website, and we will give that website address to you after this is over, if you want. The point tonight is for the public to be introduced to the people that are interested in being part of their government. And my hope, and there's a pretty decent turnout, so please, this is for you guys. This isn't for me, this isn't for the newspaper, this is for you guys to ask questions, what you want to know of your potential candidates to make your decision. With that said, what we're going to do, I'd like to start with Jay, and then just have each of you candidates give a few minutes about, who you are, your personal life, your interests, your professional life. Keep it brief, it doesn't have to be in depth, and then once we get through all that, then we'll open the floor up to questions for all of you. Everything, is that okay?
Does someone get a stopwatch?
Pardon me?
Get a stopwatch for a few minutes.
There's no need. There's no need. Everybody's self-aware. They get it when they need to just move on. Okay, Jay.
My name is Jay Jones. I'm married to Janelle Jones. She used to be a house girl. I'm 56. She's probably now, say, 53. I'll give her that. We have one boy, a son, and he teaches high school in Denison, Iowa now. So, spend a lot of time going back and forth on that. But we both work out of town. She works at Staples, and I work at Maintainer in Shelton. And just traveling. And I want to do the council because I felt it's important to give back to the community. And I served on the council for 4 years before, and I enjoyed it. And I just want to serve my community and make it a better place, Paullina a better place.
I'm Lexi Murphy. I work at Prairie Market. I have 2 kids. I have a son named Owen and a daughter named Cora. My husband works at Egg Partners. Right now we live with my grandma and grandpa. We sold our house here in town. I got asked to run as a city council, so I'm here to learn what's new in Paullina and hope to give back to Paullina and got a young blood, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm Jean Unrau. I'm married to Randy Unrau. We are both retired, enjoying it, loving it. I worked at the Farmers Co-op for 39 years. Was a bookkeeper there. And I was asked by someone to consider running for the council, and I thought about it for a week, and I thought, yes, this is something I can do for my community and try to give back to my community and learn a lot in the process.
I'm Danita Patrick, married to Tim Patrick. I was a Schnoes. I have 4 children, and my parents brought, I think, all of our family, all of my brothers and sisters up to do a lot of volunteer work. I have been involved in the church before as far as parish head chairman. I am currently the president of the American Legion Auxiliary, and also the county president, and I also took on the district secretary job this last spring. So all Northwest Iowa, so that keeps us busy. We have a lot of projects that we do that we like to be involved in. Two of my children live down in Des Moines area. One is in Boone, one is in Des Moines. And my son Logan is, Kayla lives here in town, and my son Logan is in the military. He's right now in Louisiana at Fort Polk. I've always been interested in government forever, and I thought this was a good chance now that I'm semi-retired that I could step in and do something, so.
I'm John Ely, I'm running for mayor. I've lived in Paullina basically all my life, which has been a long time. And semi-retired, although I do still repair computers, work on some websites, stuff like that. I was an EMT in Paullina for about 25 years. I also was a scout leader, and that was for about 20 years. So I spent a lot of my time helping in Paullina and stuff like that, or volunteering in Paullina. Currently volunteering at the Wonderland Theater. I basically book their movies and run the projectors. I'm a session member at the church, and basically on the tech crew that is the sound, streaming, and the lights, camera, action type person. And now I've just recently been roped into being a praise leader too. So, not that I don't have enough to do as it is. So, anyway, that should about cover it.
My name is Sean Foreman. I'm married to Kim Foreman. We have 3 daughters, and we have 6 granddaughters, or grandchildren. We have 2 boys and 2 girls, or 4 girls. I work at GCC Ready Mix, been there 20 years. I've been on the fire department for 19 or 20 years. Just want to get into a little bit of government, help the city of Paullina grow a little bit better, see if we can move stuff around, make everybody happy. And that's why I'm running for mayor.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to open it up to you guys with questions. You came to learn something or to find out something or to share something. Okay.
Go ahead.
Please, good.
To Lexi and, well, these 3 gals here, since they're new to this whole process, and Sean, if you had to pick out one goal of yours, something that you would like to commit yourself to for the city of Paullina, what would you choose?
Where do you want to start, Dorothy?
With the ladies?
With Lexi?
Yes. And then Sean, because they're all 4 new to this process.
Are you looking at, like, do they have a...
If they have a project that they would want to accomplish for the town, what would they choose?
Does that help?
A platform, so to speak?
Do I have to start?
Oh, yeah, whoever wants to.
I'm still thinking.
Jean?
You know, I'm kind of new to this, and I don't really know exactly what the town all needs, but I would hope that we could come to some agreement to maybe something to help the town grow and keep going. We don't want to lose more businesses. We want to keep what we have here and maybe try to grow it some.
I have lived away from Paullina also. I spent 4 years in Ohio. I spent 10 years in Minneapolis. I like the idea of the small town, but I do also agree with that we do need to look as far as into some growth. Right now, I think one of my main goals, and I know I've talked to a couple of the other council members, I think about this already, I think in the past, we had a gate going down to the lagoon area. Living on that end of town, there is a lot of traffic down there at night that should not be. And I think both as a safety feature for our town, that gate should be put back up. You never know with all of the terrorism and everything else that's going on. I just think it would keep a lot of the people from going down there saying it's, oh, maybe close it at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, or even in the summertime, leave it open a little longer. Yeah, people want to take their things out, but I think there's a lot of stuff that's going on out there that shouldn't be. And we used to have one. I don't know why it was ever taken down, unless it was just easier for the workers to get out there and check things.
I think the main thing is the growth of town. I know the city council's done a good job. We got 2 industrial parks now. I think we need places for housing, housing development. I know where I work at now, there's 3 towns I know that put housing developments up this year, and they're all full already. So I'm trying to figure out what they're doing in those other towns that we're not doing here. And maybe we can bring that to this town so we can grow, so we get some people in town, get some businesses in town. There's some older buildings in town, maybe we need to update some of them. Some of them are pretty old, go back to 1900s. And also, I want to see everybody be safe. There's a lot of nasty stuff going on there right now, with the drugs and alcohol and what people are doing now. Safety is number 1. And you say something, you see something, say something. Whether it's to, somebody on the council member, a city employee, fire, mate, whoever. I think a lot of people are nervous of what's going to happen. So I just want to make sure that, hey, we are here to help the people.
I would say maybe helping out, or the fire department, getting some things for them that they need, or maybe helping them succeed to get a new building someday down the road. Also keeping the town organized and clean and not getting trash thrown in the streets and picking it up, or glass in the street in some areas. So I like the town to be cleaned up and hopefully be able to have the houses cleaned up and looking nice for the town, so people would want to come back and start living here more.
Thank you. More questions? No? No? Nobody? Okay, I'm going to dig into some of your responses, and this is open for whoever wants to jump in. There's a pretty good consensus among the things you guys talked about. Growth, businesses, people. Can you take that more business and be a little bit more specific? What are you looking for? Are you wanting retail? Are you wanting manufacturing? Are you wanting a distribution center? What is it that you want to stay focused on ag and look for something in, I don't know, I'm in over my head, I said ag, that's too much for me right there. With chemical business or the distribution, something ag devoted or I don't know. Any ideas or thoughts or directions that you think would be a good match for what Paullina has and what you would like to see happen in terms of business or jobs, population? Any takers? Okay, what's missing? What do you see as missing from Paullina's economic world? We'll ask it backwards.
I feel like we don't have as many, maybe, like housing for like low-income people.
Housing for low income?
Or maybe like something to rent. Rent would be too high for some people. So that's maybe why they don't come here very often. You have to drive for jobs. There's not always gonna be a job in Paullina, obviously, for some people. But, that might help people to like having low-income housing or kind of low rent or helping out that way. And then maybe that can drag people in town more to live in here, and then they may be able to find a job here in town, or they might have to drive, but.
What do we need to do as a community to get people to join the ambulance crew? We don't, I was out at the clinic one day on the highway and there was an emergency. Well, I don't know how long waited, but we had to have Granville come over. And then it wasn't 5 minutes later, Orange City showed up. Well, I was like, okay, why did we have two of them there? But then Orange City left, but then Granville took the patient to wherever they were going to go. Why can't we get people to join our squad? It takes commitment to do that. I don't know if we need to try to get incentives for young people to come to town. And like our fire department, how can the small town of Granville build a nice fire station? The people just swarm to donate, and we can't get people to donate here. People donate with the pancake breakfast, etc. But we need more help in that area, and I just don't know what kind of incentives we need to come up with to get people to join the fire department, become an ambulance. We need figure out some type of an incentive, and I guess I just don't know what that is at the present time.
So does that mean that you're willing to donate a couple hours a month to the countywide meeting that's dedicated to the emergency services?
I would consider that,
Trying to
yes.
figure out what to do with countywide ambulance service.
I would too. I feel like we're gonna lose our ambulance if we don't get people. During the day, they have to either call Trim Guard to come for an ambulance call, correct? Or Granville. What happens if somebody's having a heart attack? They're not gonna be able to survive it. You're better off driving yourself or having someone drive you, if someone saw it, drive you to the hospital. You're gonna get there faster before Prim Guard or even Granville can even get here. That's one thing I guess I'm concerned too, that we're gonna lose our ambulance, and then if we lose that, we might lose the fire department. And then, just like that big house fire at Kent Lawrence, if we lose our fire department, then we gotta wait for Granville, Prim Guard, Larrabee, Quimby to come to the fire. I agree with Jean, we need to focus on balance, how come like Granville can do all this and like our town can't.
We've got to come up with
Yeah,
some type of
yeah.
incentive. I don't know what that's going to be, but, Mary's over here laughing.
No, I'm hearing echoes. Literally, this is all being heavily discussed on a far broader basis than just Paullina.
Yeah, you probably hear it at Pringer and Archer and wherever else.
Oh, I'm sure wherever.
That's one thing that,
Towns are suffering with the same problem. I think one thing I was interested in when I went on the council, try to restore some pride in our community. And if we can get this and reestablish it and try to, I think as a result of this, you can attract some of the people to fill some of these positions. It's a big commitment for the ambulance guys, and as far as
It is.
it's similar to the fire department. And today we've got to somehow change that mindset of where they're hung up right now, because you've got to have people that want to see things happen.
Well, I think if we take pride in our community, that's going to be a result. That's going to be a natural transition to wanting to help the community and be involved and volunteer more if we take pride in our community. and we want to succeed and be a good place to live.
But I also think that with the volunteering, it's like when I grew up, my mom and dad, we volunteered, even as children.
Yeah.
You don't have that as much anymore. You don't have the kids, and I think that's where a lot of the problems coming in.
Well, that's
You
something I
need to
want
get
to
something,
address too, yeah.
you need to get something going to get these kids involved so that they are wanting to do things and help too.
Well, having been an ambulance EMT for many years, yeah, it does take a commitment, and that is one thing I've been wanting to address too, and the council has been addressing it, but I think now it's going to take some thinking out of the box, because everybody's in the same boat. Primgar is in the same boat, but they have an ambulance right now. There's the thing. There's Archer lost theirs. And Granville has an ambulance. They have a fairly active squad, but there's not that many. There's not that many there. So it's coming around, and it's got to be addressed. Thinking out of the box, like, takes over a year or nearly a year to get your EMT license or your EMT certification. There are schools out there and stuff that can do it in 6 months. And 90% of the people pass their test on the first shot. Are we looking at the wrong place to get training? Because by the time we get them all trained, they forgot how to pass the test. So, yeah, and that's very important, and that's kind of something near and dear to my heart, having been on an ambulance crew for a while. But it does take a commitment, so.
Which is true, it does take a big commitment. I'm on the fire department. Have I used ambulance? Yes. My wife has used it, my grandparents have all used it. I know at one time we used to have a full-time EMT that worked part-time for the city. Maybe we need to go back to that. Is there money in the budget for it? Probably not. Is there grants out there for it? Yes. There's grants for everything. It's just how to get the grant, how to get the money for it. Like Charlie and Dorothy said, pride in the community. It starts with the heart. It starts with the council. It starts with the city employees. It's pride. How you act, how you dress, how you answer questions to the public. I mean, can we do something different? Probably, yeah. I mean, wash the vehicles more often. Or, you see somebody downtown, some older person having trouble across the street, have the city guy stop the truck, turn the amber light on, and help them cross the street. Or ask them if they need help. Just little things like that will make a big difference. I know I've seen Boy Scouts do it. They help people across the street. It's an image thing. It's to help the people of your town, the pride. If you take pride in your house and your community, people will show up. I look at, for instance, Hall. They put a great big 3 blocks of new housing development in. They took pride in the community because they have the cheese factory, and that town is prospering. Sioux Center's prospering, or the city's prospering because they have pride in the community. I mean, you just look at their town and everything's gleaming, and there's always somebody to help you. And Paullina, yes, there's people that will help you here, but there's also people that won't help you. And we need to promote, and we need to tell people, hey, we're here to help you. What can we do to help you? Hopefully that'll go on.
Okay, so emergency service is important to everybody up here. And nobody's a current volunteer, well, we got one current fireman, correct? Come on, people. Okay, let's change the topic here, and I want to ask you guys, at least two of you have some idea how to answer this question. So we'll cheat and let them answer first. And we'll start with John. John, how many years have you been on the council?
Over 10. I'm thinking 14, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
I lost count. After 10, I quit.
From you guys' perspective, from your experience as a council person, Shane, how long were you on?
4 years.
1 term? Okay. What are some of the responsibilities of a council person? Describe what you do. Jay, you've been kind of quiet.
You gotta listen, and you're gonna hear it from everybody. When we had that street problem with the construction, I heard people say the stupidest things in the world. You know, they did not know what was going on. And people would call me up and say, you gotta get somebody in there, you know, get another construction company in there. They didn't realize that if they canceled that construction company, those people that were paying $6,000 were gonna pay $12,000, because the DOT paid for half that. But you can't tell people that, you know, that stuff. There's a lot of stuff that people don't realize that happens, that there's a reason, like the DOT, how they bid that and all that was wrong.
Well,
But
correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't have a choice. Doesn't the DOT assign somewhat?
yeah, it was under contract, but they bid it midsummer. Sandy went out and worked her butt off and got half that money, and all these people complained that that road wasn't done and that road wasn't done, and they didn't realize that if we did anything different, they would have canceled that money. Right, Sandy?
Right.
And that money, and those people would have paid the whole thing.
Well,
And they were bad enough already, weren't they, Charlie?
Well, the thing I think I ended up doing was explaining the circumstances more than anything else. Not really making excuses, say, hey, this is the way it is. And the honor and the privilege that we had as city council was signing the check when it was all done. That was all we got out of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
You'll find out that it's somewhat of a thankless job sometimes, but sometimes you'll get some praise. But the hardest part of the job is trying to explain to people that don't understand actually how government actually, you know, this isn't a big government thing, but it's still, you know, it's a responsibility. And I never got too many calls. I got a few, you know, but you hear the other stuff, the people that think they know how to run the government and stuff like that, you know, at the coffee shop or Casey's or something like that. And then you tell them, you know, well, how it operates and that, and then they kind of get better. But you gotta have a thick skin a lot of times. But no, it's not too bad though. I enjoyed it.
John?
I'm gonna talk, I'm really not sure if I want to talk about what the council members' responsibility, they're gonna find that out quick enough. One thing I'll say about being on the council is how quickly I found out that there were things I had to vote for, whether I agreed with them or not, just because the state regulated it or something on that order. But I wanted to go a little more into what I thought the mayor's responsibility is. Obviously, the power isn't with the mayor. The mayor has the kind of, I think more than anything, the mayor steers the boat and sets an agenda as best he can, and kind of, if he can, lead the council in the general direction the mayor kind of wants it to go. But by the same token, the mayor's going to get voted down on several things that he or she is pushing for, he in this case, is pushing for, and that's just the way it is. To go on, the mayor has to be, for lack of a better term, part of the face of the community. Kind of show up at meetings out of town with other communities and stuff, be in town and around, because actually the mayor's the face of the community, even though he can't vote and stuff like that. So And basically, Paullina is a town that I love, otherwise I could be gone. I'm married to Luann, and she works in Sioux Falls, and she's an accountant. So, yeah, could be there. But no, my heart's here in Paullina. So, oh, and I was going to mention, I don't have any children, but I do have a 22-pound cat.
That's your child, Joe.
That's my child.
That's like a 10-year-old.
You're right.
He's been on a diet, he's down to 20. Right now.
Okay, anybody, any candidates first time take a crack at what they think they're asking for? What they believe they're asking for?
What they as in who? Who's they?
Council candidates for stepping into a council role, Sean for stepping into the mayor position. What do you, in your head, what do you think you're going to be asked to do? What will be required of you?
Well, I think it'll be a major learning curve because of all of the ordinances and everything we already have.
That's just the city.
That's just the city, well, no, that's the city, then you've got your statutes for the state or whatever, you know, but it's gonna be
That's government.
a major.
So learning curve.
Yeah, it is.
Every job should come with a description. Like, you know, your job duties are this and this and this.
It doesn't.
What do you mean it doesn't? But I think we need
Sandy
to.
wants to start that even.
Let's go away. My job would be to listen to all sides, the pros and the cons of everything, to try to make an informed decision. That's what I believe the biggest job is going to be.
And I feel that we do have that in our council meetings. I think Sandy does a great job telling us what's been going on. We have it in our agenda, and she has her comments of what she knows, and then it's up to us to discuss it and find out the best way to go.
And we need to listen with, you know, to different people, what's going on in our community.
Right.
What can we try to change? What can we make better?
See, they might not realize it, but Sandy puts out a packet before every meeting.
Yeah, we have.
And it has
I
an
kinda
agenda.
figured she did.
It has an agenda, you get it ahead of time, and then she puts in her little comments and different stuff, so then you can kind of
Yeah.
investigate it. And so
Okay.
you don't come in blind, you know?
And then all the budget stuff get all.
Yeah, then you
And
get
every
that.
month is
Now,
not
let's work on that.
Every month you get every month. But you also get, and you can talk to her, you can come in here anytime if you've got questions, or people jump you on the street and say this or that, or call you, whatever it happens to be. And she puts it on the agenda if it's something that needs to be discussed in that matter.
And there will be a class offered by the League of Cities for, that you can attend. Actually, it's several classes that you can attend.
You get a diploma to go, or?
You get, yeah, kinda.
Certificate.
That's a PC thing. I participated.
I said participation award.
And we do have different committees that we are on, so that's also, that you will start with in January. Not that you have to be doing something with that all the time, but you will be assigned to
Sure.
a committee, couple committees.
And I'd like to point out on the all sides of the story, look at the crowd. How many times do you think you're gonna hear it firsthand in the meeting when it's useful?
Well, that's another thing, you know, is how many people are in here? How many people are in here? Not very
That
many.
was my point.
You know,
Yeah.
you don't be walking down the street and you have this person telling you this, you have this person telling you this, you have this person telling you this. Just tell the truth.
And then you're gonna have the beauty shop talk, coffee shop talk. We all know how that goes.
That's a small town.
You know.
It's
Let's go and stay
the big thing
It's a
is
small
social.
town, it's like, we know almost everybody.
Well, the big thing now is
That's
social
what
media.
It's what?
Social media.
Oh.
Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram.
We're not recording required to have Twitter.
It's just, it's amazing what people put on there.
Just like
How
Trump.
they live,
Yeah.
what's going on.
So what's your view of the mayor's role in city government?
I think the mayor's goal for the city
Role.
government role is to, like John says, keep meetings moving. You know, if people have a problem, hold peace. You know, if something gets out of hand, yeah, you got Nate there, but also, you know, help people, you know, we can do this civilized. You don't need to be jumping up and down, throwing stuff or anything like that. Also is, you're the mayor, like John said, you're the mayor, you're the face of this community. Is it a bad role? Depends on what it is. You know, we have a very good council now. You know, Sandy, I mean, to have her job, no. No, because
Are you saying she doesn't get paid enough?
I've talked to Sandy many times. I've known Sandy since I was this tall, helping her dad bale hay and her uncle bale hay and walk meetings, so.
Aren't you told that you have to fill in for Sandy on her days off?
So,
Kidding.
Carol,
Yeah.
you know, is it gonna be a big change? Yeah. Is it gonna be a challenge? Yeah.
For whoever fills that
Yeah.
seat? Okay.
It's gonna be a challenge for whoever fills any seat. It's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna, you know, you can do the best you can do. That's all you can do.
Like Denise said, it will be a big learning curve, and we will have to learn a lot.
Well, I know I was on the planning and zoning commission and Sandy, we brought that up. And I tell you what, you know about learning curve and stuff that you hadn't learned and stuff that nobody knew we even had to have, that we do have to have in town for the planning and zoning. It was a big eye opener when we started moving stuff around, and putting this and this and this and that, and it was, wow. You have to have all this stuff.
I mean, I know there's people out there that think, well, the city council doesn't do anything, you know. They have a lot of responsibility put on their shoulders.
Give us an idea of a few of the things that you're thinking of all that responsibility. A couple of things that, I mean, we've already talked about emergency services and how to build it, or, well, that it needs to be built. Something else is clicking away back there.
People just think that, oh, I'm going to get on the city council because I'm going to resolve a personal grudge. That's not why you get on the city council. You're trying to help your community.
Trying to make it grow.
Shouldn't be for your own personal gain.
No, it's not for your own personal gain.
Yeah, they call that corruption.
I think so.
Are you corrupt, Carol?
That was perfect. Well, I just know when you work for the county government, just like when I worked at the courthouse, and I wasn't in the auditors, but we all had our own budgets and stuff. It's basically the same here. I mean, this is your whole town. There are so many rules and stuff that you don't even have any idea until you step in
Till you step in.
and see. And you think you can change this, you can change that, certain things you can't do. It is the way it is. So you make the best of it and you know how to
Learn where you go.
work with it. Yep.
Yeah, don't expect from the very first meeting you come to, you're gonna sit down and go, oh, I know everything about everything.
Yeah.
When I started on the school board, it probably took me a good year before I actually could understand all the terms and all the, I mean, it's definitely a learning curve.
Right.
But if you have questions, that's one thing. Don't be afraid to ask. Just come in and talk to us.
It's like starting a new job. You can't go in there, I know everything there's to know. No, you learn as you go along.
And you're still learning.
Right. it is
Absolutely.
But some things you can try to change or make better, and sometimes it doesn't work.
Well, you know, you can make suggestions
Right.
to make things better, but that doesn't mean they're gonna happen.
But it's like Carol says, you're working in a parameter of rules and regulations that are citywide, countywide, whatever, and you just do the best you can to function in that area, yeah. So,
That's one thing I tell, I've told people, pick your mountains. In the past, having been on the council, we've been through council members that just, every mountain they come to, they're gonna argue for or against or something, and honestly, nothing gets done on that when you have that, but by the same token, pick your mountains, pick something that you know you're good at, that you know is very important to you and your constituents, and then fight, and you're gonna find that you can change things. It might take longer, because the state is kind of stuck in their ways, and the law is kind of, not the law, that's not, but the book of ordinances might be stuck in its way, and we have to change that, but things can be changed. If it's for the better, just think in your head, is this best for Paullina? And go on that shot, and you'll be good. And I'm giving advice for that, but.
That's true. It is true.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead, Charlie.
What I was gonna say is, you kinda have to forget yourself sometimes. And I think you, kinda like John says, you're representing the community, and what's best for the community, and what's best for the community may not be what you're thinking. I don't know, I've gotten hung up on that a few times, and there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe eventually that can happen, but you don't just walk in and kick doors down and start changing things.
Be willing to get shot down on it. Yeah, that's just.
Okay, I'm gonna pick on the two mayor candidates. Anybody mind, or does somebody have a question for anybody? Okay. John, you had talked about the mayor sets the agenda.
Yeah.
Let's hear 2 or 3 agenda points from you, and then Sean, I'm asking you for 2 or 3 agenda points for what you see for Paullina.
Well, boy, there's agenda points down the road, and but I'll go back to the emergency services. That's an agenda point I want to basically continue. But I think I want to attend a few county meetings and stuff like that to kind of see where I want to go. Be honest with you, I'm not in favor of a county-wide ambulance, but I think that's the way it's going to go. Eventually, but a countywide ambulance, I fought against that when I was on, and it was just because you have 10 minutes, so a countywide ambulance would have to be stationed throughout the county and stuff like that. Like I said, we're gonna have to think out of the box on this stuff.
Do you think that would come down to paid positions?
Yeah, it's gonna come down to that.
So how many do you have to have on the ambulance? I should know this, my husband's on it, but I don't. To have on the ambulance crew to make it run, do you just have to have an EMT?
The issue, if I understand it correctly, that the biggest issue, there's not enough people, qualified people for the ambulance in town during the day.
Okay, that's why during the day, okay.
You have to have an EMT on duty, basically 24 hours a day.
Okay.
Yeah, available, maybe is a better way to put it, but 24 hours a day, and we don't have that during the day, so.
That takes a lot of commitment, plus it takes the classes, plus it takes, if you're in town,
If you're in town.
to keep that day person, chances are they have a job, so they have to leave. Yeah, and is their employer willing to let them leave?
And most employers do, but.
But it could turn into an hour or 4 hours.
Sure, yeah.
Now look at something else too. On that, an EMT, by his or her very nature, is a very dependable person. And usually, the employer depends on that person as much, if not more, than, as the people that in Paullina that want that person. So it's a hardship for that employer to let that person go, especially on a call that might take them to Sioux Falls or Sioux City or something like that. Now you're without that employee for half a day. So yeah, do we need to help employers out or something like that? That's something else to look at too. And it's the same, I mentioned it, EMTs, because, well, I shouldn't want to decorate my myself there and brag myself up because I was an EMT, but it's the same with first responders, it's the same with fire department personnel. Most of them are very dependable just by their very nature.
How would you go about helping out an employer?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I was lucky enough, I was employed I worked for the newspaper at the time, and that I was an EMT, so I was lucky enough to have Mike then. He just let me go, but he did have another person that could take my spot, if I was gone for a few hours. And he definitely would not let me go on a Tuesday, which was deadline day. So, unless half the town is falling apart, so yeah.
I did it, 3 years? I don't know.
So we're showing like 4 or 5 years?
You were on for,
Well, I was on for 12 years.
12 years?
But was it for 2 years that I was the only one during the day?
it could have been.
In the upper level?
3, yeah. And that always created problems. Well, it didn't. I mean, I always went, but I mean, it was like, it's deadline day.
Sean, how about some agenda items from you as mayor?
Well, like John says, the EMS thing is a big thing. It's through, like I said, everybody. I don't like the countywide ambulance. Cherokee's got it. I hear all kinds of problems from people down there that I know. I used to work down that area when I traveled with the company I work for now. Paid position, I said, is that what we need to do? We used to have one. It's just something the council, everybody's, that's just one thing we need to look for. I guess the other point that I've been looking at is the benefits. The employees, your health insurance and stuff, where's that going out? And that's a big,
Where everybody else is.
I'm not sure what you mean.
for the employees, help the employees out.
Okay.
I know we just got to know where I work at, ours, and it's enough to scare a person. What the rates are gonna be, what stuff they cut out, what stuff they brought in. I don't see any of those guys, they shop around. Is there different ways the city can help employees different ways for the benefits? That's another big thing, is the benefit package. How we can help the employees out, with their families. I know Zach's got quite a few kids, Top's got kids, Chris doesn't have any, but the new guy, I don't think, does he have anybody seen him? So, try to be fair with everybody, with the benefits, and help see him, I know she's had medical problems too. So you see what it costs for other companies if we need to, and how best fit the benefit package to the city the best way it can.
No questions from the public yet? Okay. To the city council people, you all talked about growth and bringing business and whatever, but nobody's really let themselves reveal or been able to draw the very big picture that I got of what you mean by that. So I'm going to ask this question. Is a trip to Walmart an outing for you?
I don't make a special trip to Walmart. If I'm somewhere, I may go there, but I don't make it a point to shop out of town. I like to shop in town. I like to keep our people here that we have here. We need these people here. I was so happy when Don and Laura purchased the grocery store, and then next was the hardware store. It's nice to see young people staying here. We need to keep them here. We need to support them. I'm not going to condemn somebody for shopping at Walmart.
I didn't say shop at Walmart. I said, is it an outing?
Is it an outing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the reason I asked that is, what seems like a lifetime ago now, we had an employee who would write stuff about what was coming, and she was all excited about Saturday going to Walmart, and she would actually put that in one of the local papers. So I'm just wondering, is that an outing? Is a trip to, and I'm using Walmart just because I consider it the enemy of small towns, but that's me. Is that an event for you?
No, if I'm out of town, I may stop I don't make it a point to, okay, let's write down things we need to go. I need to go to Walmart, I need to go to Hy-Vee, I need to go to Beverly. No, I don't believe in doing that. We need to support our small towns.
We were joking among each other, he said, it definitely would be an outing for a man.
No.
No.
We don't.
No.
So, in 2 sentences, start with Jay. No, let's start with Sean. Tell me what support means. In the context of support your business, tell me what it means.
What support means?
Tell us, I should say, sorry.
Sentences. Support. Shop there. Help out the local businesses, which would help myself. I mean, there's shop here, pay here, shop here, because like that one commercial says, Amazon doesn't give to your Boy Scouts or your baseball team or something like that on TV. And I don't have the subject, but our local businesses have, I know as a fireman, our local businesses have donated to the fire department. And we're very, as a fireman and as on the fire department, we're very gracious that they do it. You know, do I always shop in Paullina? No, because sometimes I go to the doctor or something, I just get something on my own. But we do shop in Paullina quite a bit.
Support, since he took, support, of course that means it flashes into our head. Support your local business, shop there, but also support them by your marketing too. In other words, you're talking on the street and guys, I went to Walmart and got this, and I said, gosh, you could have got it down right here in town and wouldn't have had to go to Walmart to get it or wherever. And support it with your ideas and your words too, and then start setting it up in people's minds that you can actually get that stuff here in Paullina too.
It may be also thinking out of the box and doing more community events to bring people in that will bring people into the stores.
Events like?
Well, I mean, just take Sheldon for instance. How many different things do they have going on that maybe the town is sponsored, I mean, we just have basically our Jubilee. Maybe there's another event, that we could pull together and bring more people in. I don't know. It's a suggestion, anything that brings people into town is going to help the businesses. And along with that, maybe, as far as bringing new business into town, maybe we need to partner a little bit more with O'Brien County Development Brokers. See what there might be out there that's somebody that's looking for someplace.
And it's like a giant circle. We make our money here. If we work here, we need to spend our money here to keep our businesses here to help to make our community stronger.
Support means maybe working together as businesses, maybe coming together to sponsor something, so we can have it here in town. My husband's always saying is, yeah, you can get it cheaper somewhere else, but we will support our community, because by the time you drive there, you can get it uptown. So we don't hardly ever go out of town. So we like to keep everything local, and know if we don't, then something might shut down, and then we would wish that more people wish they would go there to support it. So, like Jean said, help our local community, our local stores out.
I've noticed in the last probably 3 or 4 years, there's been a lot more, the downtown business people have been more supportive of the people in the town and trying to, the things like the Christmas stuff and the Halloween thing the other day, and that's nice that they're bringing stuff back to the community instead of just taking from the community too, just show that they appreciate it. So I think that's a lot of support.
Kudos to the people that did the fall festival. It was very successful. Many, many, many positive comments about it.
We were uptown Saturday for the trick-or-treating thing. There was a lot of people there. Yep.
No, I think they've done a great job. They've had a lot of neat things, a lot of new things. Which is
It's
what we
taken a
need.
lot of work. We have a very good committee, and we've been working on this for a year, just under a year. And we have people on that committee that want to make a change in this community. We have very passionate people, and we want to be advocates for this community. And so that's why, we want to get trunk or treat going, hometown Christmas, more of an Easter, helping with the jamboree and all of that. And so, we have a good committee, but we also need you guys too to help with, volunteering with that as well, because you guys are the face of this town if you are going to be as a mayor or as a councilman. So that's something we are truly wanting to get this going and continue with it. So we need your help as well.
I'm excited for the Christmas one.
Which is a good point, like John said, you're the face of the community, the mayor, even the council, Some of these, I can remember Red Hat ladies was one,
Red Hat Society.
and you don't get much about that either.
Well, we usually went to nursing homes and
Yeah.
stuff, and aren't supposed.
Yeah, so I mean,
Take care of that.
but there's committees and there's organizations in town that
Caroling.
I don't even know a lot of them.
No, I did it.
Because everything's, this little group or this little group or this little group. So as a mayor, what I'm running for, that's why I like to go see these committees and these things to help these grow up and bring stuff to the council. Hey, this committee's doing this one's doing this. Is there any way we could help them out in some way? Bring it up to the council as, to help prosper Paullina. Which is a great thing, because like I said, that downtown trick-or-treating thing, I knew the morning before I ever found out about it. And I went through town, like, what's going on? As I'm driving through, trying to get downtown, and came up here a little later, and I couldn't believe those people up here. It was amazing.
I didn't count how many kids came by to get candy. I know we gave away $40 plus from the library, but some didn't have kids, 300, 400 kids were coming through. Yeah.
And it's from different communities too.
Yeah.
We have Cherokee, Sheldon, Lamar's, Orange City, Sioux Center, a lot of our surrounding towns.
For the first year. Where's it going to go from here?
It's good advertising.
It's good advertising for this
It's
town.
really good.
Yeah.
Our local businesses were up there, or, everybody they're up there showing, hey, this is what we're doing. It was a great thing, I'd like to see it grow bigger yet, you know. Congratulations, you ladies did a great job.
Thank you.
Can we put you down for a trunk next year?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was surprised, like I said, I didn't pay attention to what was going on, and then all of a sudden that friend sent me a message on our fire department things, you know, people account for that, I thought, for what? And it's, okay, and I went down like, and there was, I don't know, there were like 5 or 6 guys up there already, I thought, wow, what amazing, you know. It was very nice, you know. You guys did a great job setting it all up and getting everything situated. I was very impressed.
I forgot to say
I'm out of questions. Come on, somebody help out.
Who has more questions?
Steve's got some.
I've got a mirror question. Could be either a positive or negative question, but I hope it's a positive question. If you had someone, I'll ask this one to Sean, if you had a member of the community that had a situation that needed to be addressed, either positive or negative, what would you, and they met you on the street and talked to you about that, what would you recommend that they do at that point?
Depends on what it is. If it's, you know, I'd say we're about taking our advisement. I will talk to the council about it. I will never lie to somebody about it. Don't say, yeah, I will take care of that, don't worry about it. Because as a mayor, you're not the sole person to do everything. It's based on the council. The council makes the decisions. The mayor just steers people, keeps people on the right track. Take it under advisement, say yes, we'll take it under advisement. I'll call Sandy, say, if it's something serious, we'll put on the agenda, and I'll bring it up to the next council meeting, and I'll get back to you. If it's something real serious, if it's as an emergency, depends on what it is, you know. I can get a hold of Sandy right away if it's during business hours, or if it's something that we need police involved with a fire ambulance call, I'll just dial 911 right there. But otherwise, bring it up to the council meeting and discuss it, and that's what we would do.
All right, thank you.
Don't throw the council under the bus.
No.
Well, they vote. I had nothing to do with that. You won't get any cooperation out of the council from that point on. But, yeah, and he answered it right. Depends on the situation, of course. But if they have a grievance, by all means, invite them to the council meeting so they can air that in front of everybody.
So there is a time set aside.
Right.
Just before the meeting, before business is conducted for audience inquiries and people to keep their mind.
You know, I've been to quite a few council meetings, I guess, over the last few years and different things, and it's amazing, there isn't, you know, what people say about the council, about the city, but they're never at the council meeting. They will not voice their opinion.
That's whining.
They'll come to you.
They'll come to you though, and they'll guarantee you.
Then you tell them, come to the meeting, there's a time you can present your problem, and I said, what I've told, you'll come a lot closer to getting it resolved if you come in person and address the issue. And, I can't do that.
No, because they don't have repercussion from the person.
So I just tell them then, well, then it's a mute subject.
It's not that important then.
Don't come griping to me about it then.
It's not that important.
It is something, like I said, it's something very important that needs to be addressed, right then and there. Like I said, I call Sandy and say, hey, this is what the problem is. What's the best way to resolve it? I mean, like I said, it's per instant, or per problem. Is what you do, what I do.
Okay, why don't you guys give us a wrap up? 3 free to say whatever you want to say, or just say pass, or whatever. You should vote for me because.
You don't have enough people to tell that through here.
No, I didn't know we're supposed to bring signs.
Well, I'd just like to thank you all for putting your names on the ballot. It's a definite commitment.
Yes,
It'll take some of your time and, you know, there's some issues that we have to discuss that you need to make a decision on what direction the city should go, and it's a definite commitment. So I thank you for stepping up and putting your name on the ballot, so.
Well, somebody needs to do it.
Right.
Why can't
It's really sad that we can't, out of this whole community, that we, like that's how I got on, was because I was write-in, because there wasn't enough people that would come in.
This
And
room should
it's
be
very
full.
sad.
I can remember going to the ballot, there was nobody for council and nobody for mayor.
I know, and it's just.
And it's
I
going-
know the other communities have these problems also. They don't always have a full agenda of everything, but it is sad that we can't
I
find.
guess you have to go into it thinking, well, like Mr. Spock would say, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Now, the far right wingers would say, that's socialism.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
What do you need, Charlie?
A lot of people are afraid they're putting their neck on a chopping block,
Do it every day.
I hope this.
and that's not the case.
That's not.
And one person can't make the decision for everybody.
Easier.
It might hurt their business.
True, yeah, easier to run my business.
But I did
Yeah,
say that.
When I first got on the council, there was a lot of, the council before me, there was a lot of business people on there. And it's gone away from that, you don't see,
Because you have both the bankers.
yeah, and John
Mueller.
Mueller and that, yeah. And it's gone away from that. Yeah, a lot of business people won't put their neck on the line for it. And it's
really kind of dumb because that one person doesn't make the vote anyhow.
But.
One person can't do it alone.
Can't do it alone.
But, you know, if you own a business, it's hard to get the negative,
Right. We don't want it to hurt your
Yeah,
business,
hurt
I
your
understand
business.
that, but.
yeah. Because I remember growing up, I came from a bigger town and it was all business people on the council.
Really?
Yeah, it was all business people.
And to me, it'd be nice just to have that. Not all, but.
Yeah.
One, but some.
One. Yes, because they have a different perspective, what they hear and see than what a retired person or a different lay person does.
I was, like Sandy said, I was glad. I signed up, I thought, well, 3 openings, I might be the only one. And then I saw that these 3 ladies decided to do it too, and I was glad because when I ran the first time, I was the only one on the ballot.
Okay.
So.
Well, I know Sandy was excited.
Somebody wants to be a write-in for her seat on the school board. Where is that?
None of the school board came.
She says, not
No, I
used to it.
Paul had something else tonight, she messaged me, but I don't.
Oh, Sue did?
But wasn't this was for school
Oh,
board?
yes, yes.
Yes, and my seat on the school board is open, and it's everything from my house that way, or from Mickley Street, you have to be in that district.
Okay, you have to live.
I'm not in there.
Done with that.
I just have to say that I hope, just a statement, I hope whomever does not go as mayor or for council, that you still put forth the effort, the same as what you would if you were on council, or that you would if you were mayor. Because we truly need, we need that in the town.
Absolutely.
And whatever you can give, whether you are on council or not.
Be supportive of your town.
Absolutely. You don't have to be on the council, you don't have to be a mayor to do that. You just have to be, persistent, you have to be passionate, and you have to just want to have a better community.
I think that's what we're all leading to, is a better community.
For example, as an EMT, ask yourself, why not me? Because it's not just daytime that they need people, even nighttime as well.
I think the big problem with that is though, I leave town at 4:45 in the morning, and there's a lot of cars that leave. You know, this town at 4:45 in the morning. I mean, there's times I sit at the car wash and
Are they all from here, or are they from points?
well, there's been
yeah,
a
that's
lot
hard
from
to
this
say.
town. And, you know, you gotta get up pretty early, and some people can't commit to that nighttime thing, because I get up at 4 in the morning, so.
And as far as the EMT, all towns in the area,
Yeah.
there may be 1 or 2 people from losing their service. I mean, it's very critical every place.
And if
It's very
we lose our ambulance, we don't get it back.
No, it's gone.
It's gone.
Okay, thanks everybody for coming, asking questions, getting your comments. There's some coffee, some water, some nibblies. Please help yourself. Talk with them, you know, one-on-ones, things you might want to ask or say that you didn't want to do it for the camera.